Fishbone diagram, also referred to as Ishikawa diagram or causes and effect diagram, is a Japanese tool that is used by users. It can be individual or organization. They use this to determine the possible causes of a problem. So, for example, if there's a problem of lateness by an employee and you want to investigate this, you could apply this tool to determine the causes by classifying them into these 6 categories. By the way, I would recommend that if you want to do this exercise, always do it in a team, because when you do it alone, you don't reap the full benefits. If you do it in a team, people are able to think and then give you ideas. So you can apply another technique alongside this exercise called brainstorming or brainwriting, yeah, where you have a group of people, bringing up their ideas about then there's a facilitator who is taking down the points, right, and facilitating the entire process. So back to the subject of lateness as a problem, you try to find out whether there's any cause related to a person or people. Of course, the answer is yes, right? Because this could be related to behavior. It could be that the person is not very well or is having an illness which is recurring. That is what is causing the lateness. So you can list those causes related to people under the bone people. Then you can move to material. I can't really think about any with the example of lateness, but if there's any material related, let's say I can use another example of a product which is failing, then obviously one of the reasons could be the material quality, right? But in this case of lateness, it doesn't apply. Then we can look at measurement. I don't think that is also appropriate here. Mostly for process related, maybe a defective parameter, once again, maybe as a result of wrong temperature or, and so on and so forth, which is leading to the problem. So you can apply or identify the causes under measurement. Then we can also look at environment. Maybe the environment is one of the causes. With respect to lateness, maybe it could be bad weather, maybe fog or storm and so on, rain that is causing the lateness. You can list all the possible causes there. Machine, maybe the employee vehicle is the cause because it's been failing quite often lately. It's an old machine and that is what is causing it. So you can determine whether that is a cause, and whatever the causes are, you put them there. Then we also have process category or processes. This example, it could also be related to maybe the HR policy is not very clear on what is the time reporting, break timing, and that could be the cause of the lateness. So you also explore that and make sure that if that is what is contributing to the problem, you identify that as well. Now, once all this is done, the next step will be to go further. You can do other, you can apply other techniques like 5Y to determine the root cause, or you can apply Pareto analysis to analyze the causes even further, which is not for this video. For today, we just want to look at the fishbone and how it works. Thank you very much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe, share, and comment on this video.